Okay, so what does Christmas really mean to you?
From a spiritual point of view, because I'll start there, the birth of my savior. From a Nigerian point of view, food, celebration. Like, Christmas was always fun. It was a heartwarming season for me, at least growing up. In school, in primary school, they used to have those spring-like decorations, the gold and green one and red, and once your teacher brings it to put it in class, you knew it was time. It's just bonding time. It's a time of togetherness. It's also a time of celebration. If you have an issue, just come together, figure it out. Eat something, share a meal, maybe get pepper soup together, and after you've resolved, say what you're grateful for. I feel like that also brings perspective.
All right. Merry Christmas, Auntie.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, Atim.
Hi.
Finally, we have you here.
I know, it's been a long
so many rescheduling.
It was necessary.
Yeah.
It was necessary to be here. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad that we have to do this. And it's the beautiful season of the year. It's my favorite season, actually. It's Christmas. And are you excited about Christmas this year?
This year, kind of, to be honest. I feel like when my friends are flying in and they're staying at mine and my siblings, it's getting exciting. At least it's bringing back the Christmas spirit that I'm used to, which is spending with my family. So, yeah, I'm excited for sure.
And I think one major sign that, it's getting closer to Christmas is that there's traffic everywhere.
Oh, gosh, don't remind me. Don't remind me. Getting here was a lot, but I mean, I guess it's a good thing. We just know that that's one of the things to expect when it's Christmas time. So, yeah, I'm happy.
And then lots of gifts as well.
Are we still gifting?
Oh, I think I get gifts.
Oh, you have great friends. I need to call my friends out. They need to give me Christmas gifts.
Oh, wow. So is this as a result of the current trends of the country right now, or people have just moved past it?
So I think it's an age thing. So I never really used to get Christmas gifts from my friends, if I'm being honest. But from my family, I did. But I think with age and just everybody growing up and separating, it didn't help. Right? So I think me and my siblings all moved to Canada at some point. And when we came back for Christmas, I think the thing, because at the time our parents were paying for our flights, it was, I've paid for your flight to be here. That was more than enough to be a Christmas gift. So I think with time, it just went away.
Oh.
We tried to bring it back, but people didn't commit to it. So we're like, oh, Merry Christmas. And we're happy.
I think just the gift of spending time with each other, it's a lot.
Yes.
That is in itself is
a gift.
More than you can ever ask for, to be honest. Making memories together. You can't put a price tag on that now, can you?
See, with age, perspective shifts. That now becomes the gift.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, so what does Christmas really mean to you?
From a spiritual point of view, because I'll start there, the birth of my savior. From a Nigerian point of view, food, celebration, everything fun. Like, Christmas was always fun. It was a heartwarming season for me, at least growing up. In school, in primary school, they used to have those spring-like decorations, the gold and green one and red, and once your teacher brings it to put it in class, you knew it was time. And then I used to participate in all like Christmas plays in school because that just was my thing. So Christmas has always been a heartwarming celebration for me, and it's also obviously gathering with family, because on Christmas Day we always had like a Christmas hangout of sorts. So yeah, it's just bonding time. It's a time of togetherness. It's also a time of celebration. It's fun. I like Christmas.
I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm such a Christmas girl.
Yeah.
Do you have your deco up already? Or you're still prepping?
I'm trying to figure out what way to go. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm thinking like some ornaments somewhere, but maybe no lights because we're band A. So. Let's calm down.
Reality check. Check.
Yeah. We'll do gold. Gold is bright enough, but yeah. No lights, but ornaments, yes.
Ornaments,
yes.
fantastic. Are you getting a tree as well?
No, in this
No.
economy.
I mean, you can just find one tree to chop
It's
off.
okay. I have some twigs. I'll hang the ornaments on the twigs.
That's fair enough.
It's demure.
Yeah,
So yes, that's my plan.
Goodness.
Yes.
And Let's talk a bit more about Afro-Lems. So let's talk about the food. How's business been?
To be honest, I shouldn't complain. It's been good. And I think anywhere in the world, to be honest, business is up and down. I think post-COVID, everybody's trying to figure everything out. And I think even for me, pivoting every single time that I've done over the years since I started, like I want to believe I'm moving forward, but I don't know, because every new phase comes with a new start all over again and build process all over again. So obviously, I started out blogging. I started out catering to students, actually.
Really?
And I wrote the blog to help drive the...
Was this in Canada?
In Canada, yes. I wrote the blog to help drive sales to the catering business, but then the blog took over and had a life of its own. And somehow I started to remove that bowl for student business, but I still did it for a while. And then moving back to Nigeria, I realized there was a gap for the type of food that I'm really interested in doing. Abroad, it was easier for me to showcase Nigerian dishes to people that didn't know. But here it's like, okay, I've gone abroad. The things that I've learned in food, I want to bring it back to my knowledge of food here and start to look for similarities and create a menu using those, the knowledge that I've had. And yeah, it's been interesting. And I say that I'm starting all over again in different parts because depending on what I'm doing, I'm building structure for it and process for it. So if I'm doing like a private dining, I'm now building structure for that, and then that takes off. If I'm doing a canopy service, I'm building structure for that, that takes off. Sometimes I do consultation for brands. And what that means is if a brand wants to create a product that goes on the shelf, I'm the chef consultant that goes and tastes all the things, goes to flavor houses, all of that. So yeah,
girl, the naira and color is coming in.
So that's what I'm saying. I can't complain because I think from an education background, one of the things that my many things that I studied helped me with is I can do anything. And I'm also that person. I'm that person that says, oh, bring it. I'm a problem solver. So even if I don't have any experience in it, I'll research. I'll find the people that know and partner with them and just get it done. So I think with that's how I think about business. So I can't complain about business today. It's different every single day. Let me say that.
Right.
Yeah.
And how has the current economy affected, business today?
So I think one of the things I did really early on was I started to analyze where I was. I was catering to the 1%. I still am, or the 1% of the 1%. But I think one of the things I wanted to do was also not exclude everybody. And so I started to do the snack thing. Where I'm doing ofada meat pie, different flavors of puff puff.
We're coming to you, your viral puff puff recipe. So we're going to talk about that.
I started to create those recipes so that I could sell to people that still wanted to experience the brand at an affordable rate. So that helped. And maybe it's God that said starts now versus, just waiting. I think that balance helped with where we're at, because the 1% of the 1% after a while, I think when things started to hit, didn't want to start to spend in the same way they used to. But what we consider the middle class was happy to spend, right? It was accessible enough that, okay, I need a treat, but I don't want to spend crazy amounts for that treat, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to get. So the favor of God helped me figure it out. Yes.
And I think re-strategizing, assessing where you are, and then re-strategizing to see, how you can move your business forward. I think that's very important, especially with the terrain that we're in and navigating business as an entrepreneur. That's actually very key. I saw that you had a TEDx conversation recently. Do you want to talk to us about that?
So,
I was alongside your mom.
Yes.
Ah, fantastic.
So, I'd met the team on different occasions, and they didn't even realize I knew them separately. So when one person reached out and another person reached out, I was like, oh yeah, okay, thank you. But then also it was on the platform of the podcast that I have with my mom as well.
Okay.
Where we talk about Nigerian food culture. With a generational difference perspective. Obviously, my mom being a baby boomer, me being a millennial, we have very different approaches to Nigerian food culture and what we understand. And so I think it was easy for TedEx to say, look, come and talk about it. And it was also like a TEDx Women special edition. And we were the first, I think, to do a dual TEDx
that dual
talk.
was quite interesting.
It was a lot of practice. Oh gosh, like my mom and I were saying this thing in our sleep at this point. And because we don't live in the same house, I'm literally calling her and I'm saying, okay, we need to do a run through. So we did, I don't know if we did like 50 run throughs at this point, because literally I get a window, because remember I'm catering. So I get a window and I'm like, okay, I have a window of 5 minutes, let's do a run through. So we get on the phone, she says her lines, I say my lines. Sometimes somebody forgets, we laugh, we start again. And then we're timing ourselves because they've given us a time limit to use. But it was fun. On the day of, I mean, everybody was super excited to hear us speak. And I think we tried to, oh God, I even sang. Thankfully, it didn't make it to the YouTube video.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, I did.
Oh, wow.
I did. Thankfully, it didn't. No, thankfully, it didn't make it.
I would have loved to see that.
So the thing is, when you're on stage, I mean, this was halfway or towards the end of our talk where I had a portion where I was going to sing. But I think the nervousness of, are the notes going to come out right? You know, my voice started cracking, but I was like, I was in the choir for years. What am I doing?
Like, I never knew it was part of your special power, singing. There's so much
I have so many things that I do. But yes, the TEDx talk was amazing. I had such a great time. And I think for me, just even being able to talk about Nigerian food culture in the way that we did, and inspiring somebody to just document, because that was the whole point of it. Like, we're losing our food culture, whether we like it or not. Techniques are changing, recipes are changing, ingredients are not as accessible, and that was the premise of what we're talking about. So I said, look, we have to address this from that, perspective, and get people to, either the farmers are preserving the ingredients, or people that are doing the recipes are retaining certain things, because there's a lot of food bloggers now compared to when I started. And yes, it's important to pivot ideas, but it's also important to document what was. Techniques as well. If you think about how food bloggers have also revolutionized the game, where you boil yam, put it in food processor and blend it, and it's pounded yam. I'm not going to mention the brand. I went to a supermarket recently and I saw like yam flour, and I saw it at 30k for 2 kg. And I said, these people don't have an understanding of where we're going, because people are buying food processors, a very popular one that does everything, and they're blending their yam and moving on. Nobody's coming to buy 2 kg of your... Anyway, they'll buy it, but for now. But yes, I think that for me, the TED Talk was that, just making sure that people stay aware of where we are and where we need to be.
Okay. So coming back to Christmas, are there any traditional Nigerian recipes that you think everyone should try this season? So what's hot on the menu?
Tradition. So Christmas, I think, looks different for everybody. Okay. I'll say in the Efik household, goat meat, pepper soup, but the afiaifere type, which is like white soup. The Igbos call it ofe nsala, but I think afiaifere is slightly different. So that's in an Efik household is standard, very staple. But in a Hausa household is ridi, which is like sesame seed chin-chin. Or there's a snack, there's a ridi snack.
Is it the circle ones? It's cream.
It depends on the shape. So it's almost like a brittle, but they make a sesame seed brittle. Sometimes they do peanuts with it as well. In the northern household is a lot of chin-chin.
Okay.
It's a lot of reedy, but it's a lot of sweet things. So they'll do donkwa, they'll do the peanut candy or coconut candy, that type of stuff. But in a Yoruba household, there's stew, there's, jollof rice, there's all of that, So I think Christmas tradition with food all depends. What I will say is I think you need to have, obviously, jollof rice. But I think switch up fried rice and do coconut rice. It's more flavorful. You could do it a bit more local, like village rice, so add like crayfish powder, some crayfish in there, smoked fish, all of that. As soon as a staple in my own Christmas party, But as soon as we done right. Okay. You need to roast it over open fire before you cut and steam. It's a lot of work.
Open fire? Why open fire?
So you need to char this is chef lingo.
Okay.
You need to char the skin of the goat's meat. It also helps create a complex flavor with that as well. So when you char it, you're also burning off the hair, but you're also creating like a smoked layer with the goat's meat. And so you smoke the goat's meat after charring, and then cut it into small bits, and then you steam it. And then towards the end, when the goat's meat, you steam it without spice first. When the goat meat is getting cooked, start to add your spice mix. When the goat meat is cooked, it's still hot, you can take it off and add your pepper, roughly chopped pepper and onions, and allow the steam cook that roughly chopped pepper and onions. Don't leave it on the fire. That's assumed.
Really?
But other people kind of make it a bit interesting. So
how do you make the goat meat soft?
Oh, you continue to steam it.
Until it's... So you pressure cook it with like pressure
No.
pot?
The locals steam it over firewood and charcoal. Yeah, like there's not... It
So
doesn't
that's
have
your
to be...
default...
It's also the type of goat.
Okay.
You do a male goat. Male goat is softer.
Oh, really?
Some people do female goats. Female goats is stubborn, so it's harder.
Right.
Male goats is softer, so use that. But yeah, just have some of those plantain, do some giz dodo with that, you know. There's many things you could do. Guinea fowl, order some guinea fowl, chop it up, add mosuya pepper, make it a thing. There's ways to make your Christmas tradition interesting.
So I'm on a budget. What would you recommend? I know that there's this special viral recipe of yours that has to do with puff. So do you want to share that? And then advise on other things.
Puff. On a budget, I will say you could do like cinnamon and sugar and do a cinnamon sugar. So maybe do like 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and then do it to maybe a 1/4 cup of sugar and mix it together. If you have brown sugar, it's better, but we're on a budget, so regular sugar. So just some cinnamon powder mixed with sugar, and then when you fry your puff, just toss it in that.
Okay.
It'll be
interesting.
Trust me,
Dusty
everybody loves. I don't know. So when I started doing the puff sales, I just assumed that everybody would be more interested in other flavors. I was doing red velvet and cream cheese, lavender rose, and then it was cinnamon sugar everybody was ordering. And at that point, I was like,
what's going on?
Guys, I'm trying to be creative here. Support my creative. There are a few people though, but I think for the most part, I realized people actually really like cinnamon sugar puff. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is a thing. So that would be an easy addition to your menu.
Okay. Yeah. So is there any special thing coming from Afrolems this season that we can partake from the public's perspective now?
I hope that I'm able to do something, to be honest. I might just run the Shop Afrolems Instagram shop for like a week. I might, fingers crossed. It's just because I'm traveling as well in between, just for work. But maybe I'll do something. I really want to do like a Christmas supper club. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yay! So growing up, what were your favorite Christmas songs?
Christmas songs.
Your carol.
Oh, I love all, like everything. Oh, Christmas Tree.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we sang that in school a lot. Hark the Heralds, you know. Like, see, don't get me started.
Joy to the World, girl.
Joy to the World was everybody's one, but okay. Fall on Your Knees.
Oh,
yeah, that
that's
one.
such a beautiful, oh my goodness.
When Christina Aguilera sings it. Chef's kiss.
I do have
Chef's
those.
kiss.
Oh
but yes, that one is one of my favorites. I forget the name, but yes, that one.
It doesn't readily come to mind, but I do know the one you're speaking about.
Yes. Hi, my name is Atim Ukoh. I'm the creative director of Afrolems, and you're watching Real Talk with Barbara.
Hi, Atim.
Hi.
So we're going to play a game called Name That Spice.
Okay. A kick to savory dishes and soups. Pepper. You could do pepper, ginger. Kick is also garlic, depending on the type of soup, not Nigerian soups. But yeah, you have GOG/pepper. So ginger, onion, garlic, pepper.
Okay. warm and aromatic and often used in cake and cookies. What about?
There's 2 options. There's 3 options. There's nutmeg, there's cinnamon, and there's allspice, which is a mix of cloves and everything else in between. So, chef knowledge, can't catch me.
Now you have to guess the dish. I'm a spicy Nigerian Christmas favorite made with goat meat. What am I?
Asun or Afiafere, depending on who's making it.
Thank you. That's it.
Hi, my name is Atim, and we're talking Christmas recipes, everything that you need to know for Christmas season. Please like, share, and let us know what you think. What are you making? Tell us.
So we're ending this now, but we want to say final words this season. What do we want to tell families? What do we want to tell friends? What do we want to tell people? Especially for people who maybe had a rift with someone here or there, and this is a season of love, reconciliation, reach out. What would you have to say to our people?
Christmas is always about togetherness for me, right? We need to understand why we celebrate. If you're Christian, it's the birth of your Savior, right? But more than that it's like I said, togetherness, and like you said, also reconciliation. If you have an issue, just come together, figure it out. Eat something, share a meal, maybe get pepper soup together, and after you've resolved, say what you're grateful for. I feel like that also brings perspective. So one of our Christmas traditions in my family is to do that as well, where we go around and just say, we're grateful that this happened this year to me, this happened this year. It helps you catch up as well. Because most times you've not seen your family in a long time, maybe 6 months, maybe a whole year, and that helps you reconnect with them in a different way. So I would say share a meal. That always eases the tension. Maybe a spicy meal because both of you can bond on the pepper that you're suffering from. But yes, I'll say that.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.